Oh, hello. Right. Hi. Sorry, I'm just making sure everything's going goosey. I'm just going to put this out there as like my first thing. I have never streamed solo before, so I'm a little bit scared. So please bear with if things don't work too well. Like I couldn't even work out how to do my PowerPoint and see the notes. I've had to print it all off, but you don't see these secrets. Just a quick hi. I'm Bexy. I'm not an expert in this field, but I just love talking about it. That's the best way I can describe it. There's probably a few little bits that I might get wrong. I've got to have the Discord on my phone because I can't work both things at once. So if you bear with me looking down as well. Yeah. So I've got quite a lot of army of things here to show you as well, which is really exciting because usually when I travel, I do these in Europe, so I have to travel with my suitcase. So it's quite exciting to be able to bring more ponies, especially the ones I don't really like to take just in case they get damaged. So please remember, I'm not an expert, and this will mostly be about more of a toy line sort of thing because I absolutely adore the toy line. I do actually have a pony room upstairs, but it's very hot in there, so it would have been nice to have like my collection behind me, but you have to make do with like a flutter bat here. Right, let's see. So, right, this is your basic timeline. So you've got My Pretty Pony 1981, Generation 1. So when we talk about the word generation, we kind of go with G, the number. So I'm going to abbreviate back to G, like most people know G4 anyway. So G1 was 1982 to 1992. G2 was 1997 to 2003, which you'll see there's actually a different timeline between the US and Europe. G3 is 2003 to 2009. G3.5, who we don't really talk about, that's 2009 to 2010. And G4, 2010 to 2019. And this is where it gets a little bit higgledy-piggledy because this is done on the toy line, this timeline. So there's actually been two revamps of the G4 toy line. So you've got your G4.5A and your G4.5B from 2017 to 2019 onwards. It will make more sense as we go through, so please bear with me. Right. So where it all began with My Pretty Pony. Unfortunately, I don't actually have one of these in my collection, which is really sad. Something I'd love to own. So they just don't look like the pastel ponies we know and love today. It was all a lot more beige and less little. I think they were 10 inches. And it was, the whole goal was to have your own horse at home with no need for stables and extra cost. And the first release was the beige one just there, and then the second release was peachy, essentially. And it came with accessories such as a hat, a saddle, a brush, and thing is, they're made of very solid plastic. So much so is if you buy them off people online, they can actually come to you shattered, and that's such heartbreaking. Like I've seen some with legs off, and it's just really sad because they're not as easy to fix as our little soft plastic ponies. So Bonnie Zacherle. So it's the reason why we're all here today and joining in with Pony Fun, because she was the first creator of My Little Pony. She dreamed of designing a children's toy, and her childhood desire was that she'd always wanted a horse but couldn't have one, and she knew there'd be many people in the same position with the same desire. After lots and lots and lots of begging, she was given a chance to design My Pretty Pony, and she strongly believed it should be a unisex toy, which I just think is great because it is, really. And it was suggested to be softer and smaller, and thus My Little Pony was born. I love G1s. Sorry, they just make me happy looking at them. So after being suggested to make the pony softer, the first G1s were born. It started off with 6 ponies. Can't remember off the top of my head. I've probably got them written down in my notes. Snuzzle, Butterscotch, Bluebell, Minty, Blossom, and Cotton Candy. And I didn't bring my Minty down. That's really sad. Sorry, I was going to bring my Minty down with me. It nearly didn't make it to the public market, but it did, and it completely flew off the shelves. Like, it took the market by storm. It started small, but then more characters were developed, such as unicorns, fuzzy so soft, twinkle eye ponies, and so many more. What is really great is they barely ever repeated the characters, so each new release was new, whereas when you look at the later toy lines such as G4, they just kept repeating the same ones again. So who have I got here? Let's go with Applejack. So Applejack is here. So I go and take a lot of photos outside with ponies, so some of them aren't actually in the best condition right now. So she's very soft, and she actually does fit in my pockets. Yeah. So G1 poses. So I forget the name of all these poses, but so you've got your collector pose is what I'm going to go with. Well, this one's Tootsie. Tootsie travels with me everywhere. I've usually got a Tootsie with me, and this is a Tootsie pose. So they've all got different pose names, but something else I really love is I collect the animal ones as well. So they've got a line called My Little Pony G1 Friends, and this is probably my favourite one and the most expensive pony I've bought. When I say me, I mean my boyfriend for my birthday, but I just couldn't justify spending money. But look, it's a little moose. He's called Oakley, and he doesn't travel with me because I'm just so scared of losing him. But yeah, they even did a moose. How amazing is that? And I'm just trying to think I've only got little Wooly the sheep as well. So when you think My Little Pony, you don't think of all the animals, but there's like a zebra, a giraffe, a camel, and all sorts. I think there's a panda. They're the ones I'm collecting at the moment, and they're amazing. There's a dinosaur that I would love. I love them. So around the world. So this is where it gets a bit more. So a lot of mine will be based kind of European-y because I'm based in the UK. But the toy franchise went global. But as the factories moved around, as factories, we didn't have just shipping all from one thing. It was more localized factories as well. So all they did, they got given black and white instructions about this pony is going to be this, this, and this. But some factories made different colour ponies. So, like, there's a white Tootsie, whereas the normal one's yellow. But these are called Nirvana ponies. You can see. Oh, this one's just. You can't see on this, but on the bottom, you can see what country your pony's from marking under the hoof. But sometimes it weren't stamped. So this is my daddy Apple Delight, and he's a Spanish version one. So he's actually got more of a lilac-y eyes. And I think the normal one, like the standard version's got blue. I'm not too sure. I just thought I'll buy something a little bit different when I bought him, so maybe I'll get the other one. But yeah, I think his are lilac compared to like blue or something. But also the family series were different. So I've got Daddy Apple Delight, whereas in the US had Daddy, Mummy, and baby sister, whereas in the UK had I can't hold all these, had the baby brother too. So they just had large families. Colombia only had daddy and baby sister, and Spain just had mummy and daddy. So that's just a little thing about how different the thing was, globally. Sorry, I've got too many ponies everywhere right now. I mean, there's no such thing as too many ponies. So, main 6 toy franchise. So what we can see today, looking at G4, to relate G1 to G4, we can look at the attributes of the G1 ponies, and there's been like a discussion. So this is one interpretation. So you've kind of got, where did I put her? You've got Applejack, which has got a solid predecessor. Applejack, well, I've just spoken about Applejack, Twilight, and Spike. I don't own either of those two. Oh my gosh! So every single time I do one of these panels, I'm like, these are just more ones that I need to buy. They've got direct predecessors, but then you've got Sparkler for rarity, because Sparklers, I don't think I can show you. No, I can't. Sparkler's the one in the middle at the bottom there, and Posy for Fluttershy. Ooh, I can see my thing's buffering. Then you've got Posy for Fluttershy. I don't actually have a Posy with me. I can see one over there, but I don't want to move. But I've got the plushie, a Posy plushie. So you know, it's not Pegasus, but they had the same sort of stories and stuff like that, and same colour design. And surprise for Pinkie Pie, because surprise is definitely like Pinkie Pie a bit more. That one can go and sit down there. G1 animation. I'm going to be honest, it's been a while since I've watched animation. When I say a while, it's probably about a year or so ago. So the first My Little Pony, the movie, was released in 1986, and there was 2 different animated series in G1 style: My Little Pony and Friends, and My Little Pony Tales. I've got notes for this reason because I just keep forgetting, so I'm really sorry about this. So My Little Pony and Friends debuted on September 15, 1986, and finished on September 15th, 1986. So So, My Little Pony Ponyland is a mythical land home to all kinds of magical creatures. The little ponies make their home in Paradise Estate, living a peaceful filled life with song and games. However, not all of the creatures of Ponyland are so peaceful, and the ponies often find themselves having to fight for survival against witches, trolls, goblins, and all the other beasts that would love to see the little ponies destroyed, enslaved, or otherwise harmed. So, not hugely a cheerful children's topic. I don't think you would really hear them say enslaved in any children's show these days. But with the movie, there was also a human in it, which we've not seen. Like, I've not covered Equestria Girls at all because I just forget about that even exists. But Megan the Human was in it, and it was a nice tie-in. And if you haven't watched My Little Pony the movie G1, I would honestly recommend it. People go, oh, it's going to be... Honestly, it is amazing, and the best song is from it as well. Call Upon the Sea Ponies, like you won't regret it. Trust me on that. G2 Toy franchise. So this is my favourite generation, and hardly anyone likes them. So this is where the timelines kind of go like this and this with Europe and the US. So it was first produced in 1997, and it ran worldwide for only a year, but it continued across Europe until 2003. So these G2s were my childhood ponies. These are probably why I'm in love with them the most. They had a lot more elaborate play sets in G1. So many fiddly bits, so many having to reach under the settee and find where I've dropped them. I've got quite a few play sets upstairs, but I've stacked them so badly that I don't want to pull them out because they're all just going to drop through the bottom. Right, let me grab... So Copper Glow is one of my favourite ones. I don't know if you can see in this. I know it's probably not making much sense with tiny thing, but you can see they've got crystal eyes in, and when the crystal eyes fall out, they just end up being really hollow, and trust me, they fall out quite easily. I've had to buy other gems and just like poke them in there because it's like they're staring into my soul. You have male ponies as well, but they are the same exact molds as the GT. All G2s just had the same molds and stuff. What I've got here is some of my mint on card G2s. So this I can really remember walking into Walrus and going and buying. Yeah, it just brings back so many memories. So this one says My Little Pony in English because, this would have originated in England, but this was the last years of having regional dialect on things. So this one's in German. I'm not going to try and pronounce these because I'm very bad at pronunciation, you can tell that pronunciation. And this one's a Spanish one. Yeah, I really love regional packaging. I just think it's amazing and just such a part of history. And I just love these. And people go, aren't you tempted to open them? And I'm like, yeah, but I won't. I never will. And this one, I can remember having this as a child and make my mum have to plait my hair and put this clip in, because this clip that's how they became Pegasus. You know, you had clip-on wings, all of them had clip-on wings, but you could wear them in your hair as well. So yeah, I just really, really love G2. G2 animation, how to ruin a childhood. So there wasn't any actual G2 animation. The My Little Pony, the movie, got re-released with new artwork on the front, but the whole inside was still the G1 movie, but the artwork on the outside was G2, which is very peculiar because the characters on the front of it weren't actually in it. And I can remember my mum being like, I bought you a new movie, and I'd be like, yay, and then I was like, I've seen this before. But what they did have was a CD from. Now this ruined my childhood. So what you do, you get your pony, you love your pony, you play tic-tac-toe with your pony, you brush your pony's mane, you make your pony's mane over, you treat it like it's your best friend. You love this pony, you get really attached to this pony, and then when you fulfilled this pony, it crosses over a rainbow bridge. Yeah. So yeah, I was distraught when that happened. Every time, and my dad just like, "Why is there so many saved datas?" I'm like, "Don't want the ponies to cross the rainbow bridge." So yeah, that's a cheerful thing. But it was a really, really good game. Like, I love playing tic-tac-toe and colouring the mains, because you could like, this was the original OC creator. Like, it was fab. If I can find a copy and work it somewhere, then I'll have if I can find somewhere and that has it, and I can find an old laptop or something that will work with it, I will so buy it and really enjoy it. Also, if you see me looking down, I'm trying to just make sure everything's all right. So I'm really sorry. But yeah, I would play the game again, and it would be interesting to see like whether I'm still as attached. I think I would be. But yeah, if anyone else finds this game, if anyone finds it on a, is it an emulator or something? Let me know, because I've kind of missed this game. Let's relive my childhood. Not that I'm already reliving my childhood being surrounded by all these ponies. G3 toy franchise. Be honest, G3, they're not really the gen I collect. I have a lot, but I don't know their names off the top of my hat. I use a lot of, like, you can find the names of them online. There's like Strawberry Reef, that's really good for identification. So Gen 3 was made between 2003 to 2009, but there was a few ponies made for special occasions, for like Comic-Cons and stuff. They included Earth, Pegasus, and Unicorn ponies, and where did I even? Oh, I bought one down. So this is case one, and yeah, they all have like magnets under, and they're cute. They're just not my childhood. I remember. So there's lots of characters, including some today. So this is some G3 franchise predecessors. So you've got Sweetie Belle, Cheerilee at the top. Rainbow Dash. I bought my Rainbow Dash downstairs. Rainbow Dash always dresses in style. That's easily the best quote of G3. You've got Pinkie Pie, and you've also got Rarity. So Rarity's a little pink unicorn in the corner. Yeah, Rainbow Dash always I can, because I've loved My Little Pony since a young age, and I can remember watching, like, not being too interested, but I watched it and I knew Rainbow Dash. And so as soon as I saw Rainbow Dash in G4, I was like, what have they done? But now I'm like, why did they do this to Rainbow Dash? You know? So let me just put that down there. Oh, I'm going to skip back because Not because I've missed anything really important, but I just haven't shared my Minty. So I've got a G3 Minty here. She's got white hair, so she's faded a bit, but she's got her little socks. I just find that really cute. Minty in the socks. If you've not watched A Very Minty Christmas, I'd watch that too. But I think I'm talking about the animation a bit further on. G3.5. Yeah, I don't. I've got a Sweetie Belle here. Yeah, we don't really speak about. They've got abnormally large heads. They've got same characters as G3, but they decided to revamp them. No idea why. There's good reason into why G4.5 was revamped, but I don't really know with 3.5. Yeah, the voice, just high-pitched voices is all I think when I think them. They were only produced in late 2009 and when they phased out by late 2010. G3, 3.5 animation. Lots of these went straight to DVD or VHS. VHS, yeah. It's making me feel very old. But G3.5 did add some web only. They can be hard to track down, but you can find them on YouTube. You can find anything on YouTube these days, really. But the stories tend about being like friendship, slice of life, and being yourself, which is so wholesome. But the first G3 special was released December 8th. I think December 8th, 2003, in a VHS packet with the first release of a G3 toy. So I think it came with a toy. So yeah, that's how they sold lots of this. G4, so this is probably where more people are getting like, yay, I know these ones now. So introduced in late 2010 along with the G4 television series we all know and love. Gained a lot of popularities and sparked new collectors. So I'll be honest, I've collected ponies, I want to say for all my life, but there was a 2-year lull when I was, actually I'm not going to say my age, there was a 2-year lull when people were being like, you're too old to like ponies and stuff like that, and I'm like, why did I listen to them? But in those 2 years they went into the loft, my mum gave loads to charity, and yeah, the 2 years, everything changed when as soon as I saw 2010. But I didn't actually see the Friendships Magic series first. I was in Tesco, and Tesco, people don't know, that's kind of like Walmart. And I saw a rarity on the shelf, and I was like, oh, these are so sweet. I need them all. And that's how it started for me again. And then it got me collecting all the old gens, and nostalgia is my biggest thing. The character release compared to previous generation was a lot smaller. So most of the sets or play sets or anything really had more, I want to say, more of the same reoccurring main 6 characters. A lot of them they did in duo packs with quite a rare character, but you still have a common main 6 with it. And I have got quite a small army of just Applejacks, really. So yeah, G4 main 6. Let me skip on to this. The main 6 were first to be released in brushable form and can be found in many different play sets, but generally remain the same template. So this one's a crystal Applejack, so she's got crystal bits in her eyes, but that's the only thing that makes her slightly different. Twilight Sparkle's got some slight variation in the area sets. So originally she had a forelock, and then later the main matched the others, and as she became an alicorn and being produced with wings, she's had that happen. So she had her own mould, but the mould was shared with this little itty bitty Princess Luna. She got put in the same size moulds as these guys, and I'm still sad that she's not being put in the big alicorn moulds. That would have been awesome. But Twilight's been put in quite a lot of them. Fluttershy's also had this development too. So she's had quite droopy eyes in the first ones, and then she's gone to the same eye style as the others. G4 animation. So I'm not really going to talk too much about this animation because I'm pretty sure most of you will be more experts on it than me, because I've not actually watched past season 6. Like I've watched the finale, but I've not really watched past season 6. Yeah, I should leave now. So the main characters form the core toy line. The G4 ponies also kind of included a lot of the ponies from the series, but they didn't really do too many, which I'm really sad by, because they decided to make ones like Percy Pink when I would have like really loved a Doctor Who's. But as it went on, more popular ponies like Lyra were put into the general toy line. So that's just the quick G4.5 debate. G4.5A. So this is a fashion style size Luna, but I couldn't find her. Unfortunately, because of all this, lots of my ponies are actually stuck here, a storage unit, and my parents' house. So I'm just having to use kind of what I've got, a few bits. So this is a 4.5 Glim Glam. They're very vain with their pictures on. Some people call it G4.5, some people call it G4 Reboot. I called it 4.5 until the cat ones came out, but you'll see what I'm on about. They're thinner and taller than the previous ones. This is a very marked Glim Glam. She's travelled a lot, but compared, you can see like they're just bigger, they're thinner. The hair used is also a different material as well. It doesn't feel soft, but there was a lot of new fire regulations and stuff, so it's probably a change because of that. There was so many different poses between these ponies as well, and a lot more characters from the show added. So you got Big Mac, you got Soren, and stuff like that as well. How many times have I said stuff like that as well? Sorry, guys. So this is my fashion style Lunas, a G4 plus 4.5A. One thing I do love is they've got Luna's colour correct. I really love the dark blue. Did I buy a giant set of it? Yeah. Did I buy it just for the Luna? Yeah. Where are the other ones? Probably the storage unit or something. I really do love how it looks. Like these bigger ones, I really do adore the fashion style, the new ones. I think it's not too much of a fair comparison, because that one is also a Through the Mirror Princess Luna from the Equestria Girl series. I think I like have a mint in box somewhere as well. I love Luna, if you can't tell. So yeah, I bought this. I spent £35 when it came out or something for the set, just specifically for this one, just to get one looking a lot better. So I don't actually own any of these. I've yet to find one in a supermarket, because that's usually where they have the newest My Little Pony stuff in the UK. So G4.5B, the new contender. These literally look like Palace pets. Yeah, I'm not sold on them, but I really want the Luna one because I really like Luna. And I've mixed up my notes. So you can see they've got wider heads. I think some of them are bobbleheads as well. The blind bags, like the little pink one, is Seen Things, and it's a bit weird. Do I still want them? Yes. Do I still want them slightly more than I want any more G3.5? Yes. I think they're kind of cute. If they weren't My Little Pony, I wouldn't feel as strongly against them. I'd be like, new toys. But yeah, I do like them, but I don't like them because I like my pastel ponies. But as you see throughout the whole toy line, they evolve, they change, and they meet a new target audience, and that's how they keep the engagement going. So yeah, sorry, something had printed out twice and it threw me off a little bit. So Pony Life, new animation. So I'll be honest, I've not updated this since I did this talk last time at Heartwarming Con, so I'm really sorry if this is wrong. But the launch has possibly been pushed back. We don't know. The series centres on the Sugar Cube Corner, a local bakery hangout run by Pinkie Pie, which also houses a mysterious cache of magical potions to be broken out when the need arises. Right, I know I need to finish the rest of Friendship is Magic, but I'm so excited for this. I think it's something new. Everyone's like going, oh, I'm not going to watch it, it's not the same. I'm really excited to see where this is going, just from the pure synopsis, because it just sounds like Pinkie Pie, you know? Sorry, I'm just going to need a quick drink. So yeah, right. The future of MLP. So where does it go from here? Pony Life is coming. They've released a lot of the G1s and some G3s in like retro sort of thing. So I've got a lot of them upstairs, but again, they're really badly stacked. So they're staying in the corner, but I've got a lot of the G1 releases. And the ones I don't have here, I've probably got somewhere else. And they released some G3. Funny fact, when I was over in America for BronyCon, the week I came back was the week the G3s got released in Target, and they've not made it their way over here yet, which is a shame. The second movie is released in October 2021, which could be a fun birthday present for me because it's around the same sort of time. They've continued in the comics. People are saying that the new style is less popular compared to the original G4 style, but it's a case of adapting and change. You know, we don't come to change straight away, but give it a chance, and I'm excited, you know. Will the current excitement wane with change to show style? We're just gonna have to wait and see. But if we all know and love something, why let it die at that? Because we've got so many talented artists and loads of people are making their own merch and stuff, so it's not going to die. And will the end of G4 affect the fandom? I don't think so, because like, look, the fandom is officially over now. Well, not fandom, the show's officially over now, and look at this fandom built thing. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm going to say any questions, but I need to go and open up the questions. So yeah, also, like, a selfless plug, I just is something that I really, really like doing is going out and taking pictures of ponies in the wilderness. Can't really do too much of it at the moment because can't go too far, but if you're on Instagram, dynasty_ponies, I really appreciate it. I've only got a few people, but I do more for me or anything. But the plan is I'm going to start researching more and talking about them more individually and more into detail. I just don't think I think I've shown you most of the ponies I've got here. I haven't shown, just whilst I'm waiting for some questions. This is obviously a Posy plush, one of the original ones, but they didn't repeat the cutie mark, so Posy had like quite a few, but they only did one lot. And this parasol, you can see she's been through the wars, but she was actually the first My Little Pony thing I owned, because my mum thought she was cute when she saw her one time and bought her whilst she was in her... Actually, I'm not going to give away my mum's age. But, you know, and people are like, you're an adult, why you buy that? And my mum was like, she's cute. So she, like, had this. And then I had it at 4 and thoroughly destroyed it. So anyway, I can see some questions coming in now. Sorry for not being on the ball with sorting out questions. How are toys collected, eBay and stuff? Stay away from eBay if you can. I'll be honest, loads of collectors will buy a load of vintage toys and they'll have like Peaches, and Peachy's so common. Like, I love Peachy to bits. I've got about 8 of her or something because I just can't bear to get rid of them. But people will be selling Peaches for like £15, you know, and stuff like that. I can only talk from like more the European side, but I see when you search prices and stuff, the most valuable one is, I'd say, would be the South African ponies, because there's not many of them at all, and also Rapunzel. If you Google Rapunzel G1, she's got long hair, barrettes and everything, and you're talking about an easy grand. This one here, I kind of watched these fluctuate up to $200 because this one came from America. So I watched this one fluctuate up to $200, and I was like, really, what? I can't have it. And then months later, around my birthday, literally, but actually on my birthday was when it was purchased, it dropped to $150, and So converted into pounds isn't a direct thing, but also if you're buying anything from a different country, you've got shipping and tax and customs. So this one moose had an extra £40 that we had to pay as soon as he came into the UK. So just be careful when you're doing that. Equestria girls get a conclusion or extension in comics. I really don't know. I'll be honest, I stopped really paying too much attention to Equestria girls after they changed the toy. I'm a big kid. I just love toys and plaiting hair and stuff. So as soon as they changed this toy line, I haven't really watched too much. I'm still, do you know what? This lockdown, something. I think I've got Legend of Everfree, if that's what it's called. I'll catch up on it. But it'd be really nice to have the whole rounded thing up. Of only toys, like one showed other collectibles and plushies and other items. So I've just shown a couple of plushies. Upstairs I've got pillowcases, I've got lunch boxes. A lot of my non-pony collection are actually at my parents' house, just because we've actually got a 3-bed house, and one of the rooms isn't actually a bedroom because I've got a pony room with just my ponies in. And this house, because we moved about 6 months ago, so lots of things, because I didn't want them to get lost in storage, or I wanted to be able to set things up and not have boxes everywhere. They went either to a storage unit or to my parents. So unfortunately I don't have a lot of my collection here, but I've got pillowcases, I've got all sorts. I think the weirdest item I own is I've got some vintage erasers and they've got legs falling off, but I still love them. But yeah, basically, if anything's got My Little Pony branding on it, I've probably got it. I still pick up a lot of the G4 stuff. I don't know, like I think you've got the dollar store in America, so we've got like Poundland here, and they sell a lot of like cheaper G4 stuff. So I've got weird like G4 like fake mobile phones, which I'm never going to use, but I just bought it because it's in my collection. Slowly I end up giving stuff away to people, and I've got, if like my friend's daughter comes and she really wants something of the new stuff, I would never open up these, but if she wants any of the new stuff, I'd be more inclined to go, yeah. But I kind of collect a bit of everything. One of my friends who loves G3.5 has also commented a G3.5 question, and it could be either way. I'm going to go with it's because it's not sold too well. I don't know, like I never bought them. I think that's why I fell out of love with Pony, because I was like, I'm not really getting excited going to shop buying them anymore. What kind of toys are you hoping for in the future? More of the same? Oh my gosh, the Guardians of Harmony figures are absolutely incredible, aren't they? They're not even here either. But I love those and the Funko Pops because they really show what they look like in the show. And I just really like having kind of massive similarities. Like I do love these. I do love that they're brushable and everything like that. And it really hurts me as a collector to be like, oh yeah, I love something that isn't the brushable. But I think they're amazing. So I'd love more of those. One character I'm really sad didn't even get a shot was Yona. I would have loved like a yak. Well, who else wouldn't have like loved the yak thing? I know the newer ones, I'd rather them go back a couple of steps. So even if they went back to like releasing G3 molds of the newer ponies, I don't know. I just really like the brushable ones, and they also stack really nicely, and you can easily hide if you spent far too much money on them, because you can hide them behind the other ones, whereas when you get the really big figures, you can't really. Yeah. What gen do you think has quite highest quality and most detail? Most people are going to say I'm incredibly biased, but I am. I'd say G2 because their play sets were absolutely incredible. Like, so Ivy's got a parlor, and there was also Peach's parlor, and they were the same molds for the play set. But Ivy's parlor had like shampoo bottles and everything like that. It was just absolutely amazing. And yeah, I'm still finding bits, and I'm like, what does this set does this belong to? And I realised it's a G2 one, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So Princess Crystal here, her crystal ball actually spins. You can put, and that was just amazing as a kid. And the stuff you could put in your hair, and I just really like them. And also because a lot of G2 had tinsel in the mains, and that was just blew my mind as a little kid. And yes, I'm probably favouring G2s, but I love them to bits. They don't really get too much love over in the US because they were only there a year. So they, like, I know for a fact, because I bought these relatively cheap, like maybe £20, but I know they'd sell for more in the US market. But I don't want to sell them because I love them. But I remember being over at BronyCon, and I have a thing for Ivy. Ivy, this one, is my favourite G2, because childhood things. And I remember finding a G2 Ivy, completely scribbled, completely ruined, in like a bargain bin at BronyCon for like $10. And if it was £10 the UK, I would have been like, ugh. But I was like, oh, I need to rescue her. So I do have a shelf of like sad ponies I've rescued. I know that sounds really awful, but yeah. What's your opinion on the 35th anniversary re-releases on G1 toys like Blossom? I really enjoy them because I wasn't actually around for the G1 release, so I can't really remember going and buying any like that. So it was really nice to have that little moment. But I have unboxed one of them. Like, I've left most unboxed just because I like things in boxes. They stack. But I undid I got Peachy's Parlour, and I undid that to have a look at it all. And yeah, the quality, they're not the same. I've got Mummy. They're not the same feel. They're a lot, I don't know, the hair's not the same, but again, it could be because of the fire egg. But I'm a sucker for the old ones a lot more. I do love them. Like, I will keep buying in the remake ones, and it's helping share the love to a newer generation as well. So, like, I would let my friend's daughter play with most of these ponies, not like Oakley, but play with most of my ponies. But I'd be happier her enjoying it. Like, I'd buy her one of those in a 35th anniversary in box to have. But yeah, I do like it. I just like that they're keeping the fandom going. Do you think My Little Pony is being treated differently by critics because of the fact its audience for show, including G1, was initially female? I mean, from the start, Bonnie Zachary wanted it to be a unisex toy, so I'll always stay by that. And, you know, if these pastel ponies are bringing people together to raise hundreds of thousands of whatever currency people are out there, so I'm going to say £100,000 towards charity and stuff like that, then what harm is in it? You know, people love it. Just, yeah, I just, like, I could really go off and rant this. So something I panelled at Heartswarming Con was just talk on the Brony fandom and social norms, because it's in society today, it's normal for a girl to like Star Trek, but it's not normal for a guy to like cartoons, and it can be really difficult, like, decisions like that. But if you like what you like and it's not hurting anyone, then do it. You know, these toys were made as a unisex toys from the start, so just love it and just embrace it. And I don't get why people can't get that other people like things, and we do so much good from it. What do you think of Equestria Girls merch, like the minis? I like the minis. Unfortunately, I didn't collect. I was at university when they came out, and I spent my student loan on lots of other things that I shouldn't have. So I didn't actually buy many of them. I've got a couple. My friend bought me a couple. I would like to collect more, but they're very, very expensive because a lot of them were like US release for like the other characters. So we'll see what happens. I do have the entire series of the dolls themselves until they changed the mold on those and made them a bit more, in my opinion, scary. I do have all those dolls. They're not in box because I really like displaying them out and messing with hair. But yeah, I do like Equestria Girls merch and stuff. I've just not caught up on it since they changed the mold because it just kind of put me off it. Did you mention you had a room purely for ponies? Yes, it's also like my office and a makeup room, and I collect a lot of things. So I've got a couple of bookcases with ponies, and then I've got one desk at my window. My curtain is actually a G2 bedspread. And then I've got another little desk for my makeup. But I also help organise UK PonyCon, so it's really handy having an office space so I can sit down and just get to work doing stuff there. And also, it's been really helpful because I'm currently being furloughed by my job. So I'm doing courses just to keep going something. Is there any official supplemental merchandise not from Hasbro that you own? I own a lot of custom plushies, because one thing I do absolutely adore about this fandom is their ability to just create amazing things. There's just so much. Sorry, I got a call from somewhere else. They just, and this is why the fandom's not going to die, because it's creativity. I don't know if you like, let me say, I've got a massive Flutterbat sat next to me. Like, that's pretty awesome. I don't own the Flutterbat, sadly, it's my boyfriend's, but I wanted a friend for moral support here. So yeah, I buy a lot of stuff. I do love prints and I love art. I have my OC as well, and I just love it. Let me go down. Did you or would you ever collect MLP pops? I did. I sold them all. I know that sounds really awful, but it got to a stage where I just had so much I had to like define and choose what I wanted to collect. So that's why at the moment I'm kind of on a pony ban. So I'll only buy the G1 Friends if I find them for a decent price. Do you have a particular toy in your collection you have a special memory with? Well, Oakley, my boyfriend bought me for my birthday, and I cried because I wasn't expecting that. And this parasol, my mum got me before I was even born. And Ivy, this is my childhood Ivy toy, and she went everywhere with me and still kind of does. So yeah, I do have a non My Little Pony thing that I absolutely adore. It's upstairs, but I've forgotten what brand it was, but it's kind of like an MLP fakie. But when I broke my arm, my dad bought me that, and that was just something I love. Which generation has the Rocking Line beaded toys? G1, hopefully. Are you looking forward to G5? Yeah, just bring it on. I'm excited, and I don't think my bank account's excited because I kind of go and buy everything, but I'm really excited. I just like seeing how this fandom just keeps, how the franchise just keeps embracing new things and going on. As such a pro collector, I am not a pro collector. I have about 400 ponies, but I know so many people that are in the thousands now. I'm not the best collector either, because I'll pay ridiculous amounts of things that aren't worth it because I really want it. But I mean, I don't know this person, but if Railway Dash, if you want to put me in touch with them, I'll talk to whoever. Do you think they could have done with more with Student 6 like Yona? Yes, I really wanted a Yona toy. To be fair, in this lockdown, I might end up customizing a Yona toy. I think Yona was amazing. I know I've said I've not watched past season 6, but I've seen snippets and stuff, and I've seen episodes with the Young Six, and Yona's great. Who wouldn't want a yak? So I'm really saddened by that. But if you think they didn't even make they didn't make many official characters, really, when you look through it all, and it's that's a shame. How do you find a roommate that doesn't mind pony posters and figures everywhere? I live with my boyfriend. We actually met through UK PonyCon, so that's an easy solution. But also the fact that I've got my own room for it means they're not everywhere when we're trying to live. It's not actually. I'm just staring at the living room right now, and I've just got some groups over there, and then a big Fluttershy photo. Fluttershy is not my favourite. It's my boyfriend's favourite, but that's how we do compromise. But yeah, I have ponies pretty much in every room, including the bathroom. So I've got some sea ponies on the shelf. but yeah, that's how it kind of worked out. He likes ponies, I like ponies. That's how we met. He's not really into the other gens, so he doesn't really get excited as me about them all. But when he bought me my Oakley, he was excited when it came. He was like, "Oh my god, it's it!" And I was like, "Yeah." So yeah. What's your opinion on any releases of the changing from G4? I wish there was more like little changes. Like they could have done easily the chrysalis in that mold and then a changeling in this little tiny mold. That would have been so cute. Like we've got a Celestia with all her little friends. Why not the changelings? I think that's one thing that upsets me the most about the G4 toy line is they just haven't. They could have done so much more with it, but instead they released like another Twilight Sparkle. Like they did. Like I get the pearlized ones because they were different, but a lot of them they just kept churning out the shame and just doing slightly different things. So that was kind of, yeah. I wish they had more. I think I've like answered any questions. I've still got a couple of moments if anyone wants to ask a last question at all. I'm just going to have another sip of water. I hope it was okay. I hope you enjoyed it. This is like, I know I did a stream earlier with the others, so this was kind of scary doing it on my own. I've got my 5-minute warning now, but I just hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I just love ponies. If anyone wants to talk to me about ponies or the fandom in general, because I like having talks about fandoms, just let me know. And yeah, I just thank you for listening to me, and thank you for all your lovely comments as well. That's made me think, oh, what's the best thing pony fandom's done for you personally? Obviously, I've met my boyfriend. We've been together 3 and a bit years, so that's great. And also, I never knew what I wanted to do in life, but now I work in events, and that's all through working brony events. So that's been really good. Yes, I did mention I helped with UK PonyCon on my application to my job, and they were like, "Yes, we're going to embrace you because you love something." Why did you send my presentation with Pinkie Pie picture? Just because it's funny. Yeah. So I think I'm going to have to start rounding up, but I can see people are typing. So if you can get in the next like couple of seconds, I will quickly blast through those. Maybe. Yeah. There's a way to get the video afterwards, future reference. The first ever time I did this, it was actually at GalaCon a couple of years ago. So it's changed and developed since then. But I know GalaCon have got a video of me doing a presentation there. I've never done it at my own convention, which sounds so weird. But yeah, I usually do it at GalaCon. So what I can do is, you'll see me on here, just PM me and I can send you it all on. Anyway, I am going to wrap this up. Thank you, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all your lovely messages, and feel free to message me on my Instagram or on my Discord, and I'll happily talk ponies. And thank you very, very, very much.